Yes. Paxton people, what's going on? And my name is Darius3k. Here's another episode. I cannot remember the number of what episode we're on, but we're on another episode of Darius3k's The Lineup. This time, have my guest. I'm going to go that way. Have my guest, obviously Sam Spurs for Life, here with me. We're here to discuss the NS Mura game. Obviously tomorrow, I believe, 7:45 kickoff as usual, away from home in Slovenia. So a bit of a trek, but
is it 7:45? I don't know if it is.
Is it an early one?
I don't know. I have to check that. That's whilst you're talking, I'll check that in the background. Go on.
That's why I've got him here. No, anyway, guys, yeah, this is going to be the lineup. Just a quick video just to discuss what I think the potential lineup will be and whether our man Conte is going to change it or not. But before I get into it, you know what to do. Please like and subscribe. Please check out all the videos we've got coming up. We've got Acid on Friday, I hope. We have got Judge Jody coming up. She just did it with the great Cody Mack on Sunday, so check that out. We did talking points with Brian Daigle and Bob Spur. That was yesterday, wasn't it? That was amazing. So please go and check that out as well if you haven't. And also, if you do want to become a member or you do want to give out any super chats or anything, you know what to do. We'll greatly appreciate that. We greatly appreciate every bit of support that you give us, guys. But that's out the way. Sam, how you doing?
5:45 kickoff, by the way. 5:45 kickoff.
Oh, that means that I'm going to be at university for the first 15 minutes, but not a problem. How you doing anyway, Sam? You doing good?
Yeah, I'm good. I think, the game at the weekend, the two halves of Spurs came out, the bad half in the first, and then Conte rallied the troops, got them to get, I want to see that sort of performance from the start. So let's hope that we can go into tomorrow's game with that same sort of energy and, just deal with them. We should be dealing with them.
I mean, I was just a slight tangent. I just done a stream of Spurs related. It was a great stream as well. We were talking about this game and we were just mentioning, I believe if we win this game, we do sort of confirm our place in the next round in the knockout stages, don't we? I know we don't confirm first or second until we play Rennes in the final game, but I do believe if we win this game, we do finish, or we do confirm our knockout status. So that's something to think about. And it did actually have a bit of a factor to play in my lineup that we will get into. But before we get into the lineup, sorry guys, I do want to go through the comments. We've got Dino Dinosaur says Cess, Tanguy and Dele need to start. Great video as always. Thank you very much, Dino. Thank you very much. You'll see who I've actually chosen. There is one of those three that's in my starting 11, but might not be the one that you think of necessarily. Big up Sean Snow, obviously. Hello, Darius, smartest man in the biz. Oof, I will take that, Sean Snow. Thank you very much. Means a lot coming from you as well, my friend, because you are a football whiz, definitely. So thank you for tuning in and thank you for the comments. Dino again and Stevie B, the forgotten man. Some would definitely say. Traore light, you mean? I'm guessing that's Stevie B. I hope that's Stevie B. I think it is, but
he's definitely diet Traore.
He's definitely diet Traore. I'd even say Lucas is probably diet Traore as well. And then big up Lloyd Hughes as well. Says Conte will definitely rotate the squad. I think he's making his mind up who stays and who goes. I think you're right, mate. And I also think that he's probably made a few decisions already. But let me show you, Sam, and let me show everybody who's watching this lineup. Are you ready for this?
Yep. So just a quick thing. Sorry, if we win tomorrow, because we're on 7 points and Vitesse are on 6, we should, depending on what they do against Rennes, you know what I mean? We'll be there thereabouts.
And I think that's sort of been shown in my lineup. To be honest with you, I think Conte's not going to mess around. I'm not going to lie to you. I don't think he's here to sort of do what Nuno did in the sort of first couple games of that Conference League and almost basically bring two different squads. And rumors did say that it sort of did create a bit of a divide. So I'm not of that notion that he's going to do that. So I've actually gone quite strong. I believe this is actually quite a strong lineup in my opinion. We'll go through it. We'll go through it together and we can discuss. I think Lloris, I guess it does answer itself, but Galini, do you think Galini's got a future at Tottenham? Do you think we're going to even sort of push for that by, was it 50? I believe it's 15 million euros by clause. So I don't think he's got much of a position in this team. But what's your views on Galini?
So again, Galini, Italian. If he's, if anybody's going to know about him, it's going to be Conte. If he doesn't play tomorrow, I don't know whether he's got a future at Spurs. And the reason I say that is because unless he's really just trying to guarantee, but I don't think if you don't trust the keeper in this sort of game, I don't think you're ever going to trust the keeper. So I would be very surprised if we kept him. I hope that they can maybe get Lloris on another year's deal until we then find another keeper, because I think it's going to be hard pressed to find a keeper in the summertime to get him out of any club if you're going to be looking at him. So yeah, they might do a deal to keep him in there, but I don't think he's going to be our number one. I don't see it.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. I think it's quite telling. I know it was his first game, Conte, in that Conference League where he played Lloris, but I don't know. Galini hasn't really been convincing in the games that he's played anyway. A couple of the goals he's conceded have been sort of goals that I don't expect a top quality keeper to concede. And if he was meant to be sort of the predecessor to Lloris, I don't know if that's sort of the quality that we should be looking for to replace what is a World Cup winner and captain of club and country. So
yeah,
it's big shoes to fill, whoever does take over Lloris's spot. But I've gone for Lloris in this lineup because I do think that Conte just trust him more, to be honest with you. Centre backs. Don't know what your thoughts are on this. I've gone for Sanchez, Dyer, and Davis. I've gone for them because, to be honest with you, Sam, I think that this is probably our strongest centre-back partnership that we've got available, given injuries and given sort of the personnel that is available. I actually think that Sanchez is a better centre-back than Tanganga quite clearly and quite significantly. And I think it was proven to me in that Leeds game on the weekend when he was the first substitution made, Davis and Sanchez. And Ben Davis again. Dyer was man of the match for me in that game against Leeds. So without question, he starts in my opinion. And Ben Davis again wasn't bad at all. So I don't know what your thoughts are. I know Rodon is there. I've put a few bench players there to give a bit of food for thought, but I think this is probably going to be the centre-back partnership we will see, and it's the centre-back partnership I want to see. What's your thoughts on it?
I think because of the injury to Romero, which could be quite significant, they're talking about maybe January. I don't know if Ben Davies and Dyer in a play. It's been a revelation. I hate to use that phrase for him, but he has been a revelation, Ben Davies, at that left centre-back position. And I think he might get rested tomorrow. I don't know for sure, obviously, but I can see Dyer staying in there for that leadership role. I can see possibly Rodon being given an opportunity, but I think you're right. I think Sanchez plays tomorrow because he didn't play at the weekend. I think Conte likes him. You can probably tell that. I think he trusts him. I think he's going to get him to be an improved player, as he has with Ben Davies. So I could see the back line up being Sanchez, Dyer, and possibly Rodon.
And it's something we've always mentioned as well, sort of the improvement of players and the potential that Davis and Sanchez always seems to have at Tottenham. And all the fans have seemed to say, I can see a player in Sanchez, but you can also see what Sanchez does. And I always go back to that Man City game because I don't think anybody's going to forget that Man City game. But yeah, no, I 100% agree with you. Something in me is telling me that this guy could actually turn into a pretty amazing centre-back if he can completely eliminate that sort of rash decision-making. And then with an extra centre-back as well, he looks more secure. So
I think getting a new player. You know, when you get someone like that who can be improved, we all wrote, well, I'm going to take ownership. I wrote him off. I was done.
I will admit that.
Done.
Hands are up. I'll admit that.
You know, when you see that the likes of, Ben Davies improving significantly, there's hope for anybody. And this guy's young. He's got all the attributes. I just thought his positional sense was terrible, but he can be coached. A lot of people were saying that to me before, but I was like, nah, I'm not convinced. But maybe it's because of the partnerships at the back. Maybe a back three suits him. Maybe he can afford to make a mistake. When you're in a back two, it's difficult to make a mistake and then recover from that. So I think, Sanchez does look like he's got a future now.
And you know what? Like I said, if he does improve, and I don't actually think he's a terrible centre back. I just think he has a lot of qualities that just need to go. And I think probably we've got the right man to get rid of those. I wouldn't even call them qualities. Those issues that he's got in his game. But no, I think Sanchez will actually come good. Moving on to midfield / I guess wing backs as well, because they basically do play as midfield / forwards. I've gone for Emerson at the right back. I know Doherty is available. I know he's not injured or anything. I know that he basically is a right wing back, but I just don't think that Conte really has faith in him. And I also believe that Emerson has got a pretty good engine on him. And I do believe that I would rather see Doherty play against Burnley than Emerson. And that's only because we probably will have quite a lot of the ball and we'll probably be attacking quite a lot. So honestly, I do want to just get this sort of game out of the way and won. So if anybody's going to sort of come off at half time, if we're in a lead, I do believe it will be Emerson for Doherty, but I'm going to start Emerson. And that's the same sort of decision making that I've come with the midfield as well. I think that obviously Skip missed the game because of a suspension on the weekend. So he's going to be fully fit and firing to go. And I think that Højbjerg will will definitely start, just because I think Conte is going to want to get this game done in the first half. And then maybe a slight controversial choice, not in my opinion, but Sessegnon, I believe it's his time to sort of prove that he can be a integral part of this team, and maybe not a starter per se, because I do believe Reguilon has the potential to again sort of take that next level in his game. But as a backup left wing back, Sessegnon is made for him. I mean, it was a left winger for Fulham, left back for Fulham, but extremely attacking. This seems like the ideal formation and position for him. So what's your thoughts on the four in front? I think that it will probably be that. And if not, you probably might see Emerson drop out for Doherty. What's your thoughts on it?
So my thoughts on that is Sessegnon is definitely starting tomorrow. He did the pre-match interview today, pre-match press conference. Conte's basically said as much. Two players that are going to be definitely starting is Sessegnon. We'll get on to Gil in a minute, but I think he's another one that's going to start. I slightly think your thoughts were right. I think if he does play Emerson, he's one of the players that may come off early in the second half if we win. And we should really be going out and beating this lot. With the attitude that we now have, I can see that happening. I would have played Doherty just to see what Doherty's like from the start. But for safety, yeah, Emerson has definitely been one of our more convincing wing backs, full backs, whatever you want to call them. So you might be right. You could start there just to make sure. Sessegnon's definitely going to start. The midfield too. Are we going on to them? Skip and Højbjerg?
Yeah. Talk to me.
So Skip, I think, is going to start. I think because he's missed that game because of suspension, he's going to start. I think possibly, this is my thoughts. I think Winks is going to get another shot. You know, I really do think Winks is going to get another shot. We have to. If you're going to play him in any type of game, an away game against NS Mura, who, you know, they're basically a conference team in terms of the levels against us. If we can't perform, like we said, he performed okay against Leeds in the second half. So maybe give him another opportunity to see whether he can do that. Give Højbjerg a rest. This guy, we talked about in that show we did on Tuesday, has played 50 games on the spin and only missed 1 minute of football in the Premier League. Come on, he needs some sort of a break now. So maybe Winks to come in there. Lo Celso's injured. I don't see him playing with what's it called, Ndombele in that role. So yeah, I'm going to go for Skip and Winks in the midfield too.
Skip and Winks. That's interesting. To be fair, apologies about that. No, honestly, I don't want Højbjerg to start, if I'm going to be honest with you. But my mindset is, let's just win this game in the first half. And it's something I believe we can do if we start with the right mentality, not like that Leeds game. If we start with the right mentality, we definitely should be 2-3 goals up if we really want to. And again, the same example that I gave of Emerson, you have players that you can bring off you can bring on for Højbjerg and give him a rest, because you are right in what you're saying. To only miss a minute of football in the past season and a bit is quite frankly ridiculous. And the fact that he's not been injured significantly, and again, I made this reference to Pedri in the Leeds preview, Leeds post match. Pedri played something similar to like Højbjerg, where he's played like 70 odd games, and this season he's still out, I believe, with an injury for about a month or so. So I'm not saying it's inevitable, but we are increasing the chances of him getting a significant injury if we don't sort of, you know, give him a bit of a break and spread out his minutes among competitions, because I believe he probably will start most games. I'm talking Carabao, FA, even the knockouts of this cup. So like, yeah, I think you're right in what you're saying, where there's games that you can hopefully, fingers crossed, like put your money on that we can sort of win without our best players. This is probably one of them, and
has to be.
I think you do sort of give Højbjerg a break, because he is integral to this team.
And as Conte's already said, he wants to give players opportunities. You know, he's got to give players opportunities. I know in that first game against Vitesse, it was just a case of he had to play what he knew, I guess. So he had to play the strongest team. Now he's had a few more sessions with the players. He's had over 2 weeks with some of them. You know, when no international break for some, well, I say international break, but no international duty for some. He's obviously seen enough. So whether or not we see some of these players tomorrow, if they don't start playing in these sort of games, I really feel for their futures. So I want to see, not that I want to see Winks, but I want to see Højbjerg rested to see that other players can come in and play against this lot and do what we know they can do.
I agree with you. And honestly, to be fair with you, I think we'd be more angry, or not angry, but we'd be a little bit more disappointed if Højbjerg was to get injured in this game as opposed to like a Premier League game. I think you'd all think, why did he even play? And I guess you could say that for every player on the pitch, but for somebody who's, like you said, who has played literally every single minute of every single game, the likelihood of him to get injured over certain like Sanchez's and even Skips and Davis's is significantly higher. And I guess we do have to take that into account. But let's move on to the forwards. And what I do want to include in this forward lineup is Tanguy and Ndombele, as you can see on the right side. You mentioned him sort of playing potentially in that double pivot, but what do you see him starting this game? And if he doesn't start this game, where does he start? Because I've gone for the 3-4-3. I've gone for Bergwijn and Gil, and I decided to drop Son because, in my opinion, Son's form is fine to me. Not amazing, but it's fine to me. Whereas Harry Kane, I still believe has quite a lot to prove. And give him the confidence, let him play against these teams, let him score goals. So that's why I've gone for Harry Kane up front. But Bergwijn and Hill, I think, are two players where if they don't get starting positions, or if they don't cement their starting positions on the wing, I feel like these players are going to try to be converted. And if they're not converted into different roles in the team, then I don't really see a place for them in the team, which is why I've probably chosen to play in this game. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think that it should be given the opportunity to these two wingers, or do you think maybe potentially switching to an Ndombele with Kane and Son up front to start the game and then bringing them off on the bench? What's your thought process behind it? Do you think Ndombele should start, or do you think it should be a Bergwijn and Hill and Kane on the trio?
In a flat 3-4-3,
yeah, let's say 3-4-3.
You wouldn't necessarily see Ndombele thriving as one of the Højbjergs or the Skips. However, in a team where you're playing against NS Mura, as we've mentioned before, they're not at the same level as us in terms of, Premier League status. They are Conference League status, in my opinion, at least League Two. So it would be an opportunity to see, but I look at it in the same way that he did with Christian Eriksen at Inter. He kind of, wanted him to play a certain way. And until he actually got into the fitness levels, until he got into the mentality, until he got into the tactical side of things, we might not see Ndombele. I do think he's got a future, because I do know that Conte has said on a few occasions that he really likes the player. Talent-wise, got everything, but he needs to work harder. That's telling, which means he needs to work on either his fitness or he needs to work on his game to be less of a playground footballer. I noticed you put Gil and Bergwijn on as inverted.
Yeah, and I'm sorry to just interrupt you there, but I do believe, and I did read this, and it is a mistake of mine because I did this line up a little bit earlier. I do believe Bergwijn isn't actually traveling with the squad, so that and I think that's confirmed. I've just checked on Twitter, and I can confirm that he hasn't traveled with the squad. So I'm gonna now take out Bergwijn hypothetically, and let's just put in Sonny for now and say Bergwijn's not here. I put Sonny straight in. Do you still do that, or do you now, with that information given by Chris, thank you very much for that, Chris, for reminding me, do you then now change the formation into a 3-4-1-2? Because I don't know. Good point. I don't know. Now I've said that, and now I'm thinking about it. I don't know what he will actually do now. I think he probably will start Son, but again, do you really want to be starting all these players against NS Mura? What's your thoughts on that?
That's a very good question. Now, there's no Scarlett. We know that Scarlett's injured.
Scarlett's injured as well. Yeah, confirmed.
Has Mackenday, has he travelled? I don't know.
That's a great point. If anybody in the comments could please let me know as well. If Dylan Mackenday that's a good point as well, Sam. Thank you for that. Yeah.
It's difficult now because I want to see if there's no Bergwijn. Instantly to me that says, right, put Ndombele in that position to make it a 3-4-1-2. But then are you going to play Gil as a front player and Kane as a front player? He's almost said that Gil's starting. He's pretty much confirmed that. I think Gil would be an ideal person to play just in behind if you're playing a 3-4-1-2. If you're going to play a flat three like this, then I don't know if there's going to be 100% space for Tanguy. So I would probably take out Bergwijn, have Gil on the other side, and put Lucas Moura on that right-hand side, just for that safety. As we've talked
completely forgot about Lucas Moura, to be fair. That's a really good shout, to be fair. I think... Sorry, carry on, Sam. Carry on, Sam.
I was just going to say, and then at least you can do as you've mentioned before, because it's 5 subs you can make, isn't it?
I believe so, yeah. I believe so.
So then there's plenty of opportunities to take players off, and if we've travelled with a certain amount, win the game, you can take more off. You can then, even probably rest Harry Kane and play a false 9 in there with somebody. Maybe bring Son on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, whatever he wants to do. But this is a game that is so, I know we hate to say it, but it's winnable to the fact that I would almost say we shouldn't even have to worry about winning this game, in the sense of the players that if they turn up, they should win this game automatically. I know it's away from home, but it's NS Mura. So I think it might be a case of Ndombele going in there alongside possibly Skip then. But then I was thinking his wing's going to play. All right, I'm going to stay with a 3-4-3, put Ndombele in there, put Hill on one side and put Lucas on the other side if Bergwijn's not playing. That's what I'm
like that. I like that. You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to change it. And I think that he's probably going to start Son and Gil might come off on the... Oh, but you said that Gil's probably going to be...
I think Gil's... So
yeah, then what I think will happen then is if we do play a 3-4-1-2, I could see Gil playing in that 10 and Son and Kane being in front of him then, which is, again, not a problem for me. But then I do want to see Ndombele play. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing that he's got options. I'm very happy. Thank you to Chris and Sean again for letting me know that Dylan Markande has travelled. That's a player I really want to see get time. I think he's... Not that he's ready, but he's definitely showing sort of with his game, his ability, the numbers that he's putting up in that Premier League too, that he's got something about him. And I do believe we need to see if he can really put himself in that.
Give him 15 minutes. Give him 20.
15 minutes. You know what I mean? I just think that you're not going to be able to see if these academy players have got it unless you actually give them the opportunity. And I know they're not going to get the opportunity in the Premier League. So there's only really 2 more games in this group stage. And then maybe, we've got West Ham in the Carabao Cup. So I'm not seeing any players start playing in there. So this is probably the only time that Markande is going to get a chance to really shine. And hopefully he can in the time given. He is a fantastic player. And I do believe that he can potentially cement a place in this team if he wants to. But yeah, no, I think it will be a straightforward game. I really hope it is a straightforward game. I mean, to be honest with you, like you said, the quality of the team is not there, and we have a lot of players that and a manager now who should be able to, you know, instill that mentality that we should beat these teams. And yeah, I think it should, like you said, Sam, I think it should be a pretty much straightforward result. I'm just going to go through some comments. I'm going to ask you what your score prediction is just for this game while I go through the comments and just put them up on the thingy. So what do you think? I'll you know what? I'll give you mine first. I think it's going to be 4-1. I really do think that it should be a dominating game. But yeah, what's your score prediction, my friend?
Yeah, I don't even see NS Mura scoring tomorrow, to be honest with you. I know they have done already against us, but I see this being a more defensively solid performance. I think we've seen that solidity. There is still mistakes in the team, but they're not going to be under as much pressure. So I would hope that we can keep a clean sheet tomorrow. What I will say is I think we should be scoring goals, 3 to 4 goals. I'm going to say 3-0 because I just don't know if we're going to push for that 4th goal. I just don't know. Yeah. 3-0 for me. 3-0 for me. Clean sheet.
3-0. I like that. You know what? To be fair, we should be getting a clean sheet. If we're being really honest with ourselves, we should be dominating this game. We shouldn't even need to think about this result. Yeah, just going to come to a few comments. Lloyd says I'd have Tanganga at right back for this game. I'm going to give you a bit of an unpopular opinion, maybe amongst the Spurs fan base. I actually don't think Tanganga's all that in right back or centre back. He didn't convince me in the Leeds game at all. He looked incredibly nervous, and Sanchez seemed to bring an air of calm. I do believe he's got a space as sort of a fringe player or a backup right back or backup centre back. But for me, as a right back, a right wing back particularly, I don't see any sort of attacking intent from Tanganga. That he just reminds me of Wan-Bissaka, to be honest with you, and Wan-Bissaka's not a right wing back in any sense. So
do you know what? In the press conference again, Conte was asked about the centre back. There was somebody asked, I can't remember which journalist it was, said now that potentially Romero's out till January, are you going to be going into the market to buy a centre back? His answer was he's not even thinking about that at the moment. But it will be very interesting to see if they do go into the market. Then, you know, there's going to be someone who's going to get marginalised. At the moment, it looks like it's Rodon. If Rodon doesn't play tomorrow, I don't know what hope we have got for Rodon. So he might be on his way out of the club. If we go for a centre-back, the other centre-back is going to be under a lot of pressure. I believe he's going to be Tanganga. But because we're playing a free, we are going to need a surplus of centre-backs. It's obvious. So we aren't going to be able to just get rid of him. I think right centre-back is probably his best position for us. I want to see what Ben Davies does, Tanganga doing, getting himself into the box, that's his problem. He in the Leeds game he got forward, but he didn't look like he was getting forward with intent. Ben Davies looked like he was going forward with intent, had an opportunity to score, was unlucky with it. So if Tanganga shows that tenacity to be able to add that to his game, we know defensively he's okay. I think he was part of the mistake for the first goal against Leeds. I think he could have done more to stop the cross. But I do think his tenacity, his age, and the ability to be coached by someone like Conte, maybe he does have the future. But it'd be telling in the next few weeks, few months, well, month and a half till we get to the January transfer window as to what Conte is going to do, and we'll soon know that.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think if you're playing a 3 at the back, which it seems like that's our favoured formation, you need 5 centre-backs in rotation, in my opinion. You can't have 4. If you play 4 at the back, you can have 4 centre-backs that sort of rotate those 2 positions. But with 3, you have to have 5 centre-backs, and that's minimum. You could even have 6, and I wouldn't even complain at that. So, yeah, I think there's room for Tanganga in a squad. I just don't think there's room for Tanganga in the 11, which probably suggests that he probably should start this game in all fairness. But yeah, I think there's, like you said, I think Rodon's probably better centre-back than him, and I'd rather see Rodon get a bit of time as well, because he probably will be the person that gets marginalised. As I don't believe they'll sell an academy player before Joe Rodon, but sees that everybody does seem quite confident in this game, and so
4-0 there, saying 3-1.
Salary agent,
you
Sean Snow says 3-1. Lloyd's getting a bit safe with the 2-0, but you know,
that's a safe result.
Can't trust Tottenham, so I don't blame you there, Lloyd, mate, at all. Sean Snow says Conte likes defenders that dribble. That's a very good point. That could be the reason why I think Rodon might get a chance, but again, he's not starting at all. So it's just one of those. It's a difficult one, and I guess when we look at it, you really have to sort of just put faith in this manager, and hopefully, like I said, he knows what he wants from each player, and he knows who's sort of got that stamina and the fitness levels to play a game today and a game tomorrow and a game Sunday. So I hold all the cards for Conte. I don't care who he starts and what happens, because he proved to me in that Leeds game definitely that he's got enough know-how to get a result out of a team that didn't play very well in the first half. So yeah, I'm confident, and I hope you are as well, Sam. I definitely think we deserve to be confident now after these results.
If we listen, if we can't be confident going into the game against Enes Mura with Antonio Conte as our manager, we cannot be ever confident. So I'm confident that we're going to win tomorrow. All I want to see is the way they're going to play. Like I was saying before, Conte's, if as a top manager, you have a philosophy, you have a way of playing, you want to get the players to fit into that way of playing. Now he's able to try and see who has the ability to get into the way I want them to play. So this is what I'm saying. It's going to be telling who doesn't play. That's going to be more telling than who does play for me. So when the lineup comes out tomorrow, if it's similar to yours, and we don't see the likes of Rodon, we don't see the likes of, Tangang, we don't see the likes of Ndombele, it is going to be telling.
Definitely. And like I said, we have to wait to find out. We can't do anything, can we? We literally have to wait and find out. 5:45. I think everybody will be there, because I don't want to miss a Conte game at the moment. That's how I feel right now. I want to watch every single minute of every single game, and I haven't felt like that in probably 2 or 3 years. So that's all I can ask for. Sam, I hope you feel the same, and I hope everybody else in the comments feel the same. And I also hope you enjoyed this show. Please, again, like I said, like, subscribe, follow Sam on Twitter, follow Paxton Road at TV, Paxton on Twitter. You can follow me at Darius3k on Twitter. You'll find updates. You'll find everything on Twitter regarding Paxton Road TV if you're not on our YouTube channel. So, yeah, make sure you give it a go. And honestly, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. To say that we've got 20 people on such an impromptu video is really impressive. And I'm really thankful for everybody. Make sure you smash that like button. Definitely hit that like button. You know what? Also, if you do want to know when we're going to upload and when we are going live, there's a bell as well that lets you know about all the notifications as well. So if you do want to hit that bell button, get known straight away when we go live, straight away when videos are uploaded, please do that as well. But thank you very much, guys. I'm going to leave you at that. Sam, big salutes. Come on, you Spurs.